the Liz coin for ETH lizards, or now if you've been here for a while, you might still think of them as ETH lizards, but they're actually Lizard Labs now. But their Liz coin is coming out on November 6th, and there was a whole kind of debate about whether they were going to try to get listed on a centralized exchange and open it up to more people, make it easy for people to buy. But they decided to go with the XBorg model of just launching directly on a decentralized exchange, no centralized exchange, and just I almost feel like it, because it's a little harder to get, the people who are actually going to buy that coin are more likely to hold on to it than dump it. And it's been very successful for the XBorg token so far. I think they had a little dip very early on, but then for the most part, it's been trending upwards. So I think that's what everyone's hoping for for this Liz airdrop. But I wanted your opinions on it. Do you think it maybe XBorg was just some special thing that worked out well with the coin, or do you think it was the model that they chose of going just just a DEX instead of a centralized exchange? And what do you think about the Liz coin?
I think it mostly just has to do with the extra fees and then the accessibility for normies versus like hardcore crypto guys, right? I don't know if there's too much more to say about it.
Yeah, but more access from a centralized exchange tends to lead to coins dumping more.
That's what I mean. Yeah. So like if the release on sorry, I meant to say maybe I said that wrong. I meant the opposite of whatever I said, I think. But so if you release it on a centralized exchange, obviously because the normies are buying it up really quick, then
Yeah.
everybody dumps. But if it's on a decentralized exchange, there's more fees, and that's where the hardcore people are. So they're more likely to hold on to it because they believe in the project, or that's at least the theory, right? So who knows? Like obviously, export could be the 1 in a million where it didn't work out that way, or that makes the theory wrong. But I don't see how it would work any other way.
And from one of their town halls when they were talking, it's just like they said it could cost hundreds of thousands to get listed on just like a I guess what you would call like a
Really,
tier 2 exchange, and it could cost. I think they were saying over a million, upwards of 1.5 million to get listed on something like Coinbase or Binance.
I believe it.
And it's like if you want to go on a centralized exchange, those are the two you really want. So instead of losing out on over $1 million just to get listed, and then the coin likely dump anyways, why not just go right on a decentralized exchange, and that way you're basically moving that $1 million that you would have spent can go into the hands of holders that actually care about the project. TSG, what do you think about this? You were into ETH lizards before I was. You were one of the people who told me about it.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
what do you think
Uh,
about this point? Are you still involved at all?
not, I'll be honest. No, like I see it happening. I actually don't. I haven't kept up to date with anything. Yeah. Regarding that, look, I wish them nothing but the best. I think they're going to do well. They always have. I think, and he's phenomenal at what he does. The guy, like I've been seeing some of the marketing stuff that you guys have been doing with a bunch of the influencers. Like I think what Xborg did really well was the marketing of it. I know that they did get, if I'm not mistaken, Becca to mention. I think they got Becca involved in some way, if I'm not mistaken. So I think if you can get a couple of those big names that can swing it for the Lizcoin, I think that'd be great. But I think it's more of a marketing thing than whether it's on a centralized exchange or a DEX. Like those are going to play out the way we assume. It's more about how well they market it. And so far, I think they're doing well. It's just if they can get a couple of those big names in, and the thing is, I know that they're connected with the Elios, with the Beckers, with the Neo Tokyo. Like I know they are connected. So if they can pull some strings there, I think it's a big win for them.
Yeah, and if they're taking the money that they would have spent on a centralized exchange and using it for marketing, I would be happy with that too. I don't know exactly what their plan is, but I'm sure there's going to be something going on. And yeah, if you were to say, what do I want Lizard Labs to spend $250,000 on right now, a centralized exchange, or to market it through some big influencers, I'd pick the influencers every time.
And I agree with Icy as well in chat, where he's saying start with the DEX and then you come out with a centralized exchange listing. It's one of those bullish things that the community wants to hear. Dropping that immediately kind of takes that opportunity away. I agree completely.
Yeah. No, I completely agree too. When I say I like the idea of a a decentralized exchange. That's just for this TGE. What the heck you have going on behind you, Jimbo? But
That was hybrid,
oh,
right? Am
but
I
yeah,
crazy?
I would still hope for a big exchange listing like down the road, even if it's towards the top of the bull market. Yeah, that'll probably give everyone a chance to move it over and sell. But getting onto a centralized exchange eventually, I think, would be the goal. But starting out just on a DEX, I think, is a great idea. I did kind of, I made a tweet about this. I did kind of fade XBorg at first, but I've been looking more into them, into the coin, and I like what's going on there. And I might decide to make a little bit of content on that too. But we'll see. I'll make some and see what you guys all think about it.